Hey there, YouTube land. Today, in this video, I'm going to show you some fish cleaning tools that I use. Those of you who have watched my videos, and for those of you who may not know, I fish for food. I'm not a sport fisherman. And any of you that have watched my previous videos have seen the fish I have shown, and so I figured maybe I will show you the tools I use to prepare them to be eaten. So let's get started. The first tool I'm going to show you is a fish scaler, and this one is a Pflueger clean scale, I believe. Clean scaler, that's what it says. I'm not sure why you'll see that. This was probably made in the 1950s. Before that, I used a Deddy's fish grip with a scaler on the bottom, but the teeth on that were starting to get worn down, and it was probably from the same era as this Pflueger scaler. So I purchased this more recently, and it's got a nice triangular shape. I use this primarily for bass, panfish, by panfish, sunfish, rock bass, crappie, fish like that have big scales. I don't use it on trout because you don't really need to scale trout, but really neat old tool, and funny enough, it actually has a bottle opener on it. Haven't used the bottle opener, but it's there. So there's the first tool I have. The next one is a Mustad bait knife. This I was given by a friend as a birthday gift. It was either my 19th or 20th. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but it was given to me by a very good friend. Comes with the sheath. And this I use when cleaning panfish, because I like to cook my panfish whole, and if you look at my channel, I do have some videos where I show this. When you're cleaning panfish, particularly like bluegill, pumpkin seed, rock bass, white perch, you want something that's got a very thick, sturdy blade so you can cut through the backbone, because they have a very thick backbone. This bait knife works perfect for that. It's designed for that. Keeps a fairly good edge, you know. It's worked very well for me, and I have put it to good use. Now, onto fillet knives. Now, I only really fillet bass and crappie, although I don't catch a lot of crappies these days because the spot where I usually get them, they only really bite in the spring, and these days I don't target panfish in the spring anymore because at that time the bass are spawning and I don't really want to bother them. Plus, bass season doesn't open until June in my state, in New York, and also in Vermont it doesn't open until June, the other state that I fish. But once bass season opens, and I go for bass and we catch some keeper ones, we like to fillet them because they're a bigger fish, so you can't really fit them in a pan hole. So with that in mind, I have two different sized Rapala fillet knives, both Rapalas. I love the Rapala Finland knives, and I'll explain more why in a moment. But I have two different sizes. I have a 6-inch blade, and I have a 4-inch blade. Now this one was actually given to me back in the spring by a friend that he had some fishing stuff and he didn't fish, and he gave me this and a net. And so let me just get this out of the sheath for you. So there's the 6-inch Rapala fillet knife. And the reason I like these Rapala fillet knives is because they have just the right amount of flex, so that way you can kind of work around bones and stuff. But they don't have too much flex, because if you have too much flex in a fillet knife, in my opinion, it's very hard to work with. Especially with bass, which are a very thick fish, whether you get a largemouth or a smallmouth. So it's got the right balance between them. You know, it's got flex enough that I like, but it's sturdy enough where I can work with big fish. So the 6-inch knife is mainly used for bigger bass. So there's that. And then the 4-inch fillet knife, there we go, right here. Again, also a Rapala Finlander, I believe they call this one. Basically the same as that, just a shorter blade. This works good for crappie, smaller bass, like smaller legal size bass. And I also do sometimes use this for cleaning trout and skinning perch, yellow perch that is, because yellow perch are very difficult to scale because they have a very tough set of scales on them. I have tried to scale them in the past and I've just never had luck with it. So I just skin them and cook them whole, kind of like I do with a bullhead. And this has been a good knife, and again, you know, it has flex, but not too much. And in my opinion, if you're trying to find a fillet knife, you want one that has, you know, you want some flex to it because you're going to need that, but you don't want it to be flimsy. So just make sure you find one that's just the right balance. I do highly recommend these Rapala knives. I'm not sponsored by Rapala, so they're not paying me anything for me to say this. Again, this one I bought myself, and the other one, as I said, was given to me by a friend, so Rapala did not send these to me. I just found that I like these because I've used them a lot, so just my opinion though, so take that for what it is. So there's that one. And last but certainly not least, a pair of slip joint pliers. Now what do I use these for? Well, these are for bullheads, and as I said, I probably should say, as many of you who have watched my channel for a while know, I like to eat bullheads a lot, one of my favorites, and these come in handy for when I have to skin them. If you want a good video on bullhead skinning, check out Shotgun Red 1000's video on how to skin a bullhead, and he uses the exact same method I do. This comes in handy because when you skin them, you have to grab them by the spine and pull the meat out. And I recommend a pair of slip joint pliers for that over needle nose. I have used needle nose in the past. They can work, but slip joints I find just get a better grip. And you don't have to buy fancy ones. Like these ones are ones I bought at my local Dollar General store a couple years back. So, you know, you can just buy a dollar store pair and they'll work just fine. I've had these for a couple of years now and they've done very well. So a pair of slip joint pliers, very handy for cleaning bullheads. I even use these to skin off perch, to pull their skin off, just so that way when I'm skinning them I get a better grip. So slip joint pliers, nice thing to have if you like to eat bullheads. In summary, there's all my there it is, fish cleaning tools I use for anybody that's curious. So you know, it's I have a good assortment and they come in very handy. So far this year, my cousin and I have been fishing a lot, and we've gotten 2 keeper bass this year, a couple of perch, we got some good sunfish, so we've had not a bad year. We went yesterday, but not much was happening, though I did have a big bass on the line, but unfortunately he swam into some lily pads and the hook popped out and he got away. I even tried wading into the water to try to get him, but you know, it didn't work out. But it's the way it goes sometimes, you know, part of the game. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do apologize for not posting in a while, but been very busy lately, but had today off, so I figured I'd make a video and show you something different. Anyway, thank you for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe.